Hello, everyone. Welcome to our pitch day for our software development bootcamp graduates. I'm so excited for you all to be here. And today we're celebrating the amazing journey and graduation of our February cohort. Over the past few months, these students have sharpened their skills, taken on real world challenges, and built solutions that highlight the creativity and mindset of a true software developer. This event today brings together an incredible mix industry professionals to hear fresh ideas and graduates that will showcase their expertise. And then, of course, our community in the chat that gets to see a front row look at the future of software developers. You're about to see innovative projects, strategies, and problem solving skills that help shape the products and experiences of tomorrow. So let's celebrate their hard work and the courage, the pitch, and also the exciting careers that lie ahead of all of them. Before we begin, just a few things. So today's event will be approximately 2 hours in length. Though only our partners and presenters can go up on stage to speak, all attendees are welcome to participate in the chat. So please feel free to give feedback, ask questions, provide comments, and whatever else needed. Throughout the pitches, we will be playing some embedded YouTube videos, and these will be played at full volume on my end. But please be prepared to adjust your own computer volume as we play the slides since the volume may vary. Lastly, a reminder to our guest speakers, please make use of the moderator's chat just on the right-hand side here for any internal communications and the general chat for anything else. So with that, let's get started. So hi everyone, I'm Mahnur, and ultimately my goal here is to get job seekers in our career program closer to jobs, help build their professional networks, and ideally get them hired. I brought in some guest speakers from several different companies across the country. Some of them have technical roles and some have experience working closely with them. And essentially, my hope for today is that this is an opportunity for everyone to network, connect, and chat about the software industry. At Circuit Stream, our mission is to bridge the gap between learning and industry. So my role is to take everything that the students have learned in the course and turn it into a real career momentum. And I also work closely with some of our instructors and the internal team to make sure that the students are bringing their very best to the table. And it's events like today that help shine a spotlight on the incredible talent our students bring. So with that, I will just kind of jump into a little schedule that we have here. So we'll do the event kickoff, which we've done by now, some partner introduction. So we'll have the guest speakers come in as well as the instructors, talk a little bit about themselves, what they do, and then we will move on into the capstone projects and the pitches. Pitches will be about 7 minutes long in length. And then after each individual pitch, I'll have all the guest speakers join the stage for about 6 minutes of question and answers with that. Lastly, once all the pitches are done, we will open it up at the end for a general Q&A. This will be a great opportunity to revisit some things, give clarity, ask more questions, and then we will wrap up. Before we head into the pitch day, I just want to give you guys a little bit more background on us. CircuitStream began in 2015 through a network of developers, designers, and creators, and we are now a leading provider of technology education in game development, game design, product management, and of course, software development. Our main goal is to provide future-proofed and industry-relevant skills to folks looking to pivot into tech, upskill, or learn about the technical aspects of the industry. And then, of course, our secondary goal is to prepare our students for jobs in their preferred industry through events, one-on-one connections, mentorships, and engaging with our network of employer partners. Since our start in 2015, we have educated over 50,000 learners globally, and we are constantly updating our curriculum to stay ahead of the curve. We partner up with a variety of universities across the country. So we're with UBC, U of T, McGill, and a few other as well that are listed here. Just a few more things before we get started. So with our technical program that the students learn all the basic and foundational skills, we also offer a career program to our students. This program provides ongoing support for students who are keen to start job hunting as soon as they graduate and making sure that they are prepared to find a new job. Through this program, we are committed to supporting our students with their career and professional development, and we take pride in providing opportunities to connect our learners with industry partners and networks. If for any businesses that are in the attendance today, we are always looking to expand our network of employers who reach out who we can reach out to for events, talent opportunities, and more. If you're interested in joining our talent network, please reach out to me through the email that is listed on the screen, and I'd be more than happy to connect with you guys. Just a little bit about the program itself. So our software development bootcamp is an intensive 36-week course. It's live and it's an online bootcamp which prepares students for successful careers in software development. The cohort that is presenting today started their bootcamp in February and they have just graduated. So we're super excited for them today. And then a little bit about their capstone project. So at the end of their bootcamp, learners were given 4 weeks to create a fully functional software application. This gave them the opportunity to showcase their skills in software development and design, as well as the criteria that their assignment was based on were architecture, code quality, framework, library usage, testing, debugging, devlog, and then lastly, deployment. And it's so exciting it's so cool to see how their projects go from complete ideation to an MVP. So it's really amazing. With that, now we will start by introducing our software development instructor. So if I could please have Martin join the stage and tell us a little bit about the cohort that he's been with.
Hi there. Is my microphone working, Manor?
Yes, I can hear you perfect.
Awesome. So I'm Martin Lee. I primarily work with Unity development, but I've also worked as an SWE2 on web dev in the industry. I'm currently also studying for my master's program in computer science at Georgia Tech for human computer interfaces. So that comes with alternate reality projects and VR. At Circuit Stream, though, I work as a software web dev instructor, and specifically so, I worked with the February cohort. So, diving straight to the point, today's not about me, it's more about the learners. And if I were to start somewhere, I'm always surprised at the granularity of where we started, where everyone in my cohort, a lot of them didn't know what basic data types were. They didn't know what a string was, and they would ask me questions like, what's this question mark do? What is a semicolon for? Do I use single quotes or double quotations to dictate what is a string? They would ask me every little question because they were insecure. And we needed to find a way to make sure our learners could drive that insecurity away. And there's no better substitute than experience. So throughout most of my cohort, I placed my students in uncomfortable positions. I want to become acclimated to such an environment where they don't know all the answers. And in response, by the end of this boot camp, I wanted them to say, I can find out for you. I can handle this. I can be that person for you because that's what we're looking for. Examples, by the time we hit that capstone project, they would say, hey, I'm not sure which OCR framework to use. Should I delegate that to Google OCR? Should I use ESLint? Should I use Prettier? Can I use Babel? So some of you might be nodding in the background right now because that's exactly you. That's what you've asked me. Maybe even a cores issue, right? You were going in circles, you couldn't figure that out. So the point of this program was to make sure our learners were battle tested. So for that capstone project that you're all about to see, we had weekly stand-ups, right? What did you do? What will you be doing? Any blockers? And if I could have it my way, a lot of learners know that smirk. When I had the smirk, I would have given them Jira tickets and maybe even deadlines while juggling 4 to 5 meetings a day, just to make sure they're used to what to expect in the industry. So to those learners who were coached under me and to those who weren't, kudos to you. I'm proud of what you have all accomplished. Thank you, Manure.
Thank you, Martin. That's so nice. It's so good to hear from the instructors because you guys work so closely with the students. So watching them go from not knowing a lot to being able to create a fully functioning deployed application, it's really cool. Thank you, Martin. I will have you leave the stage. With that, I would like to call up our next instructor, Albert. He is also a software development instructor with us. So, if Albert, you could please join the stage and tell a little bit more about your cohort and what you do.
Yeah, sure. I reflect totally what Martin just said. But hi, everyone. My name is Albert Villaruz. I'm a web developer at Tyndale University. Before that, I was a front-end developer at Agency Analytics. As Manur said, I'm an instructor for software development bootcamp for Circuit Stream. But it's not my first time teaching. I've taught before at Georgian College for the web development program. And yeah, so the Circuit Stream Bootcamp, we learned all the way from the beginning, from HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Node, MongoDB, React, React Native, algorithms, among others. And the capstone project you'll see today is a culmination of all their hard work. And I'm so proud of what they've chosen as their capstone project, because they've chosen to use the knowledge that they've applied in previous careers or previous work industries that they've had, for example, health or automotive industry, or just job sites. And the work that they put in for their capstone is just amazing. I'm so proud of them. And the journey that I had throughout this whole entire year was great. And I loved my experience. So good luck to all my students. And actually, you don't need luck, because I already saw your presentations on the last day of class. So, and you were great. So thank you for the journey and the pleasure of teaching you.
That was so sweet, Albert. That was so cute. I'm gonna cry now. So thank you so much for working with our students, and they appreciate having an instructor like you and Martin, who works so closely with the students and is really interested in their learning and development. So thank you so much. With that, I will now move on to our industry partners. So as I call you, please just join the stage and then tell us a little bit about what you do as well, where you work, and the journey that brought you here, and anything else that you would like our students or people in the audience to know about. So with that, could I please have Ismail join the stage, please?
Hello, hi everyone.
Hi, I'll speak on everyone's behalf.
Hi, so I'm gonna introduce myself. Ismail. I'm a senior software developer engineer at Upgrade. It's a San Francisco-based fintech. I do Java backend development since almost 10 years now, and I still love it since as day one. And I'm very, very happy to be here and to share the stage, and looking forward for what's coming. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here. With that, I'll move on to Chantal, who is a senior web developer. So Chantal, if you could please join the stage and share a little bit about what you do as well.
Hello. Yeah, so I'm Chantal. I'm currently primarily a front-end developer. At my current role, I'm at Command Zero. So we're a cybersecurity tech startup in Calgary. So, but I come from a pretty vast industry experience. I was in tax and accounting prior to that, tracking controls, and at one point a not-for-profit for water and sanitation. So quite a bit of different experience in the industry. Primarily a front-end developer, although have achieved full stack in prior roles. And my education background, surprisingly, is in sort of arts and design. So I kind of found myself down this path. So hoping to help you guys out from the perspective of UI, UX development, standards, as well as general development practices. So it's great. Looking forward to hearing from you guys.
Thanks, Chantal. We're so happy you're here with us today. With that, I'll move on to our last guest speaker that we have. So Smitha, if you could please join the stage as well and just share a little bit about yourself, please.
Hi everyone. I'm Smitha, and I'm a product leader and a founder focusing mostly on building scalable and real-world software platforms across fintech and AI. And I've spent my career working at the intersection of engineering and business. And most of my work has been in translating complex technical systems into products which customers actually use. So I care deeply about system design, developer experience, and a practical innovation. And I'm really excited to see how the students of this cohort have approached their solutions today. And I'm looking forward to learning from each one of them. So I'm happy to be here.
Thank you. We're happy to have you here as well. All right. Okay. With that, I will start the pitch day. Very exciting stuff. So for today's software pitches, this is the order that we'll go in. We'll have Simcha join us first and share a little bit about her project called Mark It Down. We'll move to Harpreet, who will talk about Mini Gig App, and Olivia, who'll share about their route. Ken will walk us through Audit Ops. Reagan, she's going to share a little bit about ThoughtLoom. And then lastly, we will have Aisha join us and share about naturopathy. It's a little bit of a tongue twister for me. But with that, if I could please have Simcha join the stage and start off her pitch.
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. I'm going to go off stage, but I'll be here.
Okay.
Take it
Hi,
away.
everyone. I'm Simcha, and I love books. I love reading them. I love seeing them on my shelves. I love exploring them in street libraries and giving them to others. So, what's the problem? Well, life happened, and I don't read as much books as I want. So, I decided to develop my own application, mobile application, to reestablish my relationship with books, and I called it Mark It Down. Next slide, please. Okay. My background is in computer science. I have 12 years of experience in the tech industry as a program manager, and I always was interested in the technical aspect of the products that I was working on. So that's why I enrolled to this program. And on a personal note, I love spending time with my family, especially in nature. I love coffee. I volunteer as a barista right now in Vancouver Cafe. And of course, I love books. Next slide, please. Next one, please. Do you remember a time where you read a lot? I do. When I was a child, I remember reading until very late at night, despite my parents' warnings. I just couldn't put this book down. And I want to restore that feeling. I want to forget myself in books again. So, what can be done? Well, there are many solutions out there, like ebooks and audiobooks and other things that didn't really work for me. So I decided to trick myself into reading. Next slide, please. Okay, so how does it actually work with the Mark It Down application? You go to the shelf where you store the books that you wish you would read, and you pick a book, and then you start scrolling it, looking for an interesting quote that spark interest. And once you find it, you open the application, and with the application, you can scan the book cover, and the application will translate the image to text, and you can do the same also with the quote, and the application will convert it using OCR and using Google Books API. And you can save your quotes, and you can also save your thoughts, and you can create your own diary. So if you ask yourself, how exactly is that going to make you read more? I learned that once you stop doing the other interesting tasks and open the book, there is a higher chance that you keep reading. And also, I found out that once I find something that's really interesting me, I would like to read around it before and after, and not necessarily open a book and try reading it from the beginning to the end. So it's a little bit like random scrolling, but with books. Okay, next slide. Now we're going to go through a demo, and after that, I will talk about the development and my learning. You can see how she can scan the book cover, and it will convert it to text. Same with the quotes. You can edit them and have full CRUD capabilities and save your own thoughts about it. Okay. So I had 4 weeks to develop this application. At the beginning, the first week, I was focused on how the application will look like. It was very important for me that it will adhere to Apple guidelines because from the beginning, I wanted to put it in App Store. My main feature that I worked on week 2 and 3 was OCR, the optic character recognition. And then on week 4, I focused on wrapping it up and testing. And after I had a little bit more time, I added this Google Books API that allowed me to get all the information from the books automatically without the user having to type it all down. For the future, I plan to put it in App Store because I want my family and friends to use it. And also, I want to get real user experience and update the application based on it, and maybe also put it in Google Play. Next slide, please. I learned so much through this experience, and I want to highlight 3 main things. So the first one is the OCR integration journey. I worked with ExpoGo, and I really loved it. And when I searched for OCR solutions, so I found that at first native OCR, and then also I noticed that Apple have their own built-in text recognition, which is amazing. But both of them didn't work with ExpoGo. And the only thing that worked with ExpoGo was Google Cloud Vision. So eventually I decided to use that one, even though it's not perfect, because the development experience really mattered to me. And I tried other things as well. The second thing is time management. Of course, I wanted my application to look amazing and to have cool features, but I only had 4 weeks to develop it. And I remember consulting with my teacher, and it really helped me to focus on what are the really important things that I need for having a minimum product going on. So I did that first. And after I had some time, I added, for example, this Google Books API that will enhance the application and the user experience. And the last thing that I want to mention is coding with AI. Well, I have this background in coding for so many years ago, even from high school. And for me, to code with AI was really enriching my developer experience. I learned so much, and I can expand more maybe in the Q&A. Okay, so next slide. Thank you so much for listening to me. And I would love to get in touch through LinkedIn, and here is my email.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that, Cynthia. That's an app that I definitely need because I have so many books that I don't even bother touching anymore. So with that, could I please have the guest speakers join the stage and provide some feedback and just do a little Q&A with Cynthia here?
Yes, Simka, that was so good. And I've recently gotten back to reading books, so that really resonated with me. I mean, I like your UX design. It's so simple that you just put in the title and then is it just like one paragraph? Is that what you can do per title, or can you do more than one?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, so it has one main screen that keeps your library of books, similar to, say, if you think about like Spotify or songs library, and you can have your quotes from any book, and it will remember the same book, and then you can edit it in the same screen. You can remove what you wrote. You can change it. And I have a second screen that shows more information about the product and future discover quotes plan. That's what I want to do in the future to make it more like a social app.
Okay. So can we also put like the page number? So that needs to be manually put in, right?
No, the page number is not.
It's not that.
really interesting. Like, if you want to go back to where you found this quote, oh, I'll take this as a suggested. I didn't even think about it. But yeah, I right, because when you put the stickers on the book, you know exactly where you were in the book. Okay, thank you for that.
One question before I let Chantel and Ismail take over. So is this product more like for me to journal the books that I've read and the quotes that I want, or is it more like, hey, look, I read this book, this is the quote, and is that more like an Instagram for the books? Like, how do you want to position this product?
Yeah, I don't like to make it more like an Instagram. It's more like for me, and I wanted. At first, I wanted to make myself read more, and I actually just wanted to save my quotes and my thoughts, because I read books and then I see something and it reminds me something else, or it like I can connect to it from like a deep part of my soul. I want to write like a journal about it. So discovering quotes that is more social is not for social media like Instagram. It's more inspiring, being inspired from other people that found quotes in this book.
Okay, thank you. Great work.
Thank you.
I can go next if you guys want. I have a couple questions. Maybe I'll just start with one. Really, really neat idea. Really unique. I also need to read more. Can't tell you how many times it's taken me too long to read a book. Out of curiosity, how did you handle sort of the user management, the login, and any other security considerations for your app?
Yeah, that's a great question. I tried to use a Google login, and it didn't work with ExpoGo. ExpoGo has an issue that every native code will not work with this. So I need to decide if to switch to other solution. But eventually, I decided to use password and email with Firebase, and it was really amazing and smooth. I really liked Firebase. I tried it also with Google. It didn't work, and then I switched to the password email, and it's perfect.
Okay. Am I
For the
free to
future, of
ask?
course, I want to upgrade it, by the way, to using credentials from Google, for example. But for
Yeah.
what I needed for this project, I was settled for the username and password.
Fair. Okay. And then I just wanted to hear a little bit more about your stack. What other frameworks did you use for your front end and why?
So I don't know if you can go back to that slide with the presentation. It shows this diagram, what I used for a UI and logic. Maybe it will just look more visible, but basically I used React Native,
Okay.
and then I used the ExpoGo. And then for the logic layer, I also used custom hooks and component management, of course. Then I used for the APIs and everything. It was Google Cloud Vision and Google Books API. I'm thinking probably missing something. I don't see it in front of me right now, but for testing, I used Jest for unit tests. From the start, I used GitHub. It was very important for me that it will be there at the beginning. I think that's pretty much it. You want to say?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Simsha. First of all, congratulations on your work. I have some thought I want to share with you and some feedback. Personally, I think the ideas that come from personal struggles are the best ideas, and because you fall in love with the problem, and when you fall in love with the problem, you are able to have more passion and to give more from yourself to solve the problem. And the problem you are trying to solve is something that I also have, because I read on Kindle and I highlight every time, but I never go back. It's not very easy to go and see all my quotes. So maybe something to think of as if you can connect what you do, the app with Kindle, and and get the highlights and the notes from there. That can be an idea for your product. Also, I think you went through a struggle that everyone who starts a new product have from the technology side, which is choosing the right technology for the right use case. And having experienced with, I heard you experienced with Google authentication, it didn't work out for you, so you had to go to another solution or provider. And also, what happens usually, and I think you experienced that, you spoke about choosing one technology sometimes conditions what you choose as the next technology, and this is one of the hardest thing in our domain and field, because sometimes you make a choice and then 4 years later you regret it, and you hope that you had never made that choice. But when you make a choice on a technology, sometimes you don't have much time. You had 4 weeks, and that's a great great amount of time to give you a lot of pressure and to try to choose the right technology. Yeah, so congratulations on your product, and good to see that you went with good practices like using GitHub and try to make your application compatible with what Apple Store requires.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Amazing. Thank you, guest speakers, for all your feedback. With that, we will move on to Harpreet, who will be presenting her application called Mini Gig App. So if everyone could please leave the stage, and Harpreet, if you could join us. All right, good luck.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here. I'm really excited to present this project called a Mini Gig App. Next, please. So a little about me. My name is Harpreet Hindsa, and I'm working as a quality assurance engineer at Breakdown Services, where I test their web and mobile applications. I have been with the company for about 4 years, where I develop curiosity to know how the features I test are being created by the developers. And that curiosity led me join Software Development Bootcamp. So coming from the QA background, my approach to development is to build user-friendly and reliable solutions. Next, please. So the problem, the idea to create this app came from a very common problem. We have seen people posting Facebook and WhatsApp groups saying that I'm looking for someone who can help me with the cooking or maybe with the cleaning or babysitting. So there wasn't any dedicated platform there where they can post or such small task jobs. And also they were not able to find jobs near their locations. Next, please. So what is Mini Gig App? So it's a dedicated platform where users can post and search small task jobs. They can search jobs near their locations. Also, they get gig recommendations based on their skill set and real-time notifications whenever there's any updates on the gig. Next, please. So target audience is mainly students and teenagers or anybody who is interested in doing part-time work. Next, please. Timeline. So week 1 was mainly planning and a backend setup. I decided user types and their features, and then I connected MongoDB with Express. Later, I designed schemas, JWT authentications, and also middlewares like authentication middleware and error handling middlewares. And week 2 was core functionality. I designed APIs for gig and user management. I implemented geospatial searches and also configured WebSockets to have a real-time connection between a backend and front end. So week 3 was front-end development. So here I set up the React front structure, and I decided the app layout and created auth context and protected routes. I created UI components, and I used Axios for API calls between backend and front end. Week 4 was testing and deployment. I did end-to-end testing and fixed bugs. When everything was good, then I've deployed a front end to the Netlify and back end to the render. Next, please. The demo. So this is the landing page for the app. You can create account as a worker and or a client. Here I'm logging in as a worker. So this is the worker dashboard. You can apply for the job from the model as well as from the table. You get the fit score based on your skill set. And you can search jobs by a keyword, or you can also include remote searches. And if you're looking something near your location, then you can use a distance filter. This is the notification page. Here you get any updates related to the gig. You can mark them red or delete it. And also you can add it to your profile. Now I'm logging in as a client. So this is the client dashboard. You can see like how many gigs you have posted or open or closed. If you want to see who have applied for the job, you can go to view insights. And if you want to hire them, you can click on assign button and they will get real-time notification on their dashboard. And also you can do other CRUD operation, like you can close a gig, you can edit a gig, or also you can edit your profile. That's all. Next, please. So after all this hard work, I have fully functional responsive app where you have role-based dashboard where clients can create gigs and can also hire workers, and workers can search and apply for those jobs, and workers can search jobs near the locations, and also they get real-time notification whenever there is any update on the gig. Next, please. Challenges. The biggest challenge was managing role-based dashboard, because I have to make sure that a user is logging to the right dashboard based on their role. And the second challenge was implementing geospatial searches. And for that, I have to configure 2D sphere index, by which I was able to find the distance between the workers' locations coordinate and the gigs coordinates. And third was implementing real-time notifications. And fourth challenge was making sure that app is working nicely both on desktop and mobile devices. Next step, I would like to integrate a payment feature for gig transactions, and also would like to add a review and rating system so that we can build trust and reliability among users. And third, I would like to recreate it as a mobile app. That's all. Thank you so much for listening. I would love to hear any feedback or suggestion you may have. If you have any questions, then I'm here. And if you'd like to contact me, my contact details are on the slide. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And this is such a cool idea, Harpreet. There can be so many uses of it in so many different industries. So very cool that you came up with this. With that, could I please have the guest speakers join us on stage? Smitha, you're muted, sorry.
Yeah, I was saying congratulations, Harpreet. That's a big task, the whole CRUD operation plus a working setup.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
So I just have one quick question about while you were coming up with this, what if one person, like are you going to also add like the contacts of the person? So when they assign it, have you thought about the loop about how the employer would contact the person getting the gig?
Okay, so here client, if for example, if I'm looking for someone, right, I need somebody's help for like maybe for the cooking, right? So I can post that, right? And so persons who are like who have like this app, or if they are coming to this website, they can look this job is there. Just like LinkedIn, we go there and find jobs, right? So it's like a LinkedIn, but also like a TaskRabbit, where you can like small task jobs. You have to go there and search if something suitable for you there. It isn't like it will go to your inbox. It's like we have to go there, explore there, and then you can, like apply for that. And you can apply, and client can see like who have applied, and if they're interested, then they can hire you.
So will like an in-place messaging also come into place? Like that's the feature that you would add later on?
Yeah, what do you mean? Like
to message them on the app?
Oh, so it's a website basically. So
Yeah, on the website.
if you are okay, so you apply there just like LinkedIn. When somebody wants to hire you, they will send you an email, right? For now, messaging is not here because of like time limits. So there is email notification or real-time notification. You will get a notification that this client wants to hire you. So they will send you a notification. You will get an email, and for that, I have used a Mailtrap sandbox. So you get there. Yeah.
So that real time is through that setup. Can you tell me more about that real time setup?
Real time. So for WebSockets, it's like I have used WebSockets. So on the server side, I have like a server IO, and on the client side, I have a client IO. So whenever, so the front end is listening for a notification event. So whenever a gig is being posted, which is matching to your skill set, or you are being hired, that a front end is listening to that event. So you will get a notification right away. Just like LinkedIn, we see like notification on our side corner, like the bell icon, you get right away notification. But you will get that notification only if you're live at that time. For offline, I have used Mailtrap. So if you're not there, then the email will go to, because I can't test this, website like in production, like with the real email IDs. So I just use the sandbox so that whenever something is there, you will get an email as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Chantel and Ismail, do you want to go? Because I could go on asking more questions, but I want to be mindful of time.
We can keep going in this order, I guess. Yeah, I was going to commend you on the real-time notifications. I know how annoying async operations like event listeners can be.
Yeah.
So that's great that you got experience with that. I was trying to think of a good question. And out of curiosity, how were you handling your table data? Were you server-side paginating by chance? How was your filtering working? Is that all client side?
So I didn't get you like I didn't get the question like.
So your list data of gigs, is that, how is the filtering? And I know you don't have a ton of data, so eventually there might be a ton of gigs in the list and you'd need to maybe create pages or something for performance reasons. So did you have anything in place there, or is your filtering client side only?
So for the data, I still don't get like what do you mean, but I would like to explain it like what I understood. So so whenever user like entering, like create an account, right? So their information is being stored as a client or as a worker. So and then when somebody want to hire you, like on so I have like a gig page where you are adding all the details, like so like what kind of gig it is and what like how much you're gonna pay and everything, right? For that I have like schema set up there. So by that I'm storing everything in my MongoDB. So in MongoDB, I'm storing like what kind of gig it is, how much you're gonna pay, what skills you need, and everything, right? So yeah.
So when you're rendering that data in the application, and I apply a filter like remote only, is that filter being applied to the API?
Yes, obviously the logic is at the back end, right? So if I'm doing a
Okay.
remote or maybe doing like, by the location, because the most important feature was the location searches, right? For that, that I have to do the API, like I have to store the address as a like Earth coordinate, like, like that 2D sphere index. And by that, I mean, I was able to, like with that, MongoDB let you use a near filter, max distance filter, and by
Okay.
which you are able to find the distance between client coordinates, sorry, the worker coordinates and the posted gig coordinates. And then that
Okay.
way you can see like which gig is close to your location and you can quickly talk to them or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Hi, Harpreet. Congratulations on your great work.
Thank you.
I have a few questions for you.
Yeah.
3 questions, actually. I didn't get it, but what language did you code your backend?
So backend is Express Node.js, like JavaScript. So and MongoDB for the database, and the front end is React.
Okay, excellent. And my next question is how hard would be to spin up an application, knowing that you correctly decoupled your stack. You have your front end that's decoupled from your backend, so you could have an application. So basically, what I want to get to is, would you be able to reuse your front end in your front end code partially or totally to build an application?
To another application front end?
I mean, no, to a mobile phone application.
Yeah, obviously. That's why I have used JWT authentication. Otherwise, I could have gone for password authentication as well. So I really want to recreate it. That's why I kept authentication like that, so that I can keep my front end, like back end as it is, and then I can reconnect it with the React Native, and I can recreate it as a mobile app.
Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
My last question is, if you would think of a monetization model, what would you suggest if you had already think about it?
Model like
Monetization, how to make your app generate a revenue for you.
or for revenue, for now I'm not thinking about revenue because it is ready, but it's not production ready. But because I'm not sure like how it's gonna work, like when somebody's like more than 1,000 users are there. So still there is not that much security. I have like password security, JWT authentication, but still it's not that stable that I can, go for that thing. For now, I just created it for learning purposes. That's it.
Perfect. Great job.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Harpreet. With that, we will move on to our next student, Anna Olivia, who will talk to us about their route. So Anna Olivia, whenever you're ready, please join the stage. Okay, so Anna Olivia is just having some technical difficulties. With that, we will move on to our next student. So, all right, perfect. If Ken, could you please join us on the stage, and we will start with your project, Audit Ops. So whenever you're ready, Ken.
I'm Ken. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can all hear you well. Thank you.
The sun is not cooperating with me right now. It's set up perfectly, but not anymore. All right. So I'm Ken, and I made Audit Ops. It's a smart contract in auditing dashboard to help with enterprise teams that are doing audits for smart contracts or solo auditors. So it's blockchain oriented, kind of in the fintech realm. That's what I'm super passionate about. Next slide, please. So yeah, as I said before, I'm Ken, focused on securing opportunities in full stack and blockchain development, whether that's employment or mentorship that helps me grow in the industry. I'm super passionate about building SaaS products and exploring real world crypto applications. And I'm actively working to grow my professional network within tech and blockchain communities. Next slide. Okay, so what is AuditOps? AuditOps is an all-in-one auditing dashboard that streamlines audit workflows for both solo auditors and enterprise teams. The platform allows users to create, add, and edit findings and export reports in PDF format automatically. Next slide, please. So the current problem statement, modern auditors today, whether independent or part of enterprise teams, are forced to juggle too many disconnected tools. Think GitHub, Notion, Google Docs, just to manage audit findings, documentation, and reports. As a result, audit teams spend more time managing tools than performing actual audits, reducing both efficiency and accuracy of the audit. Next slide, please. So the goal statement, AuditOps aims to eliminate tool fragmentation, fully automate reports, and empower auditors with real-time collaboration in a single integrated platform. Next slide, please. Let's talk about market potential. In 2024 alone, we saw 760 major security incidents and over 2.3 billion US dollars in losses from smart contract vulnerabilities. One of the biggest contributors to that number is still basic access control flaws. So think permissions or authentication in regular web development. There are modifiers in smart contracts called only owners. Super simple, basic stuff, but they get overlooked all the time. They accounted for nearly $1 billion in losses on their own. At the same time, the blockchain security market is exploding, growing at 38% annually and expected to reach 15 billion by 2030. With more than 30,000 dApps on Ethereum, most of which require audits to gain user trust, the demand for reliable, efficient auditing tools has never been higher. That's exactly where AuditOps fits in. It directly addresses the fragmentation, manual workflows, and lack of visibility that leads to these vulnerabilities. I'm building a platform that scales with this rapidly growing market while solving the very pain points that cost the industry literal billions. Next slide, please. And now we'll move into the demo here. Hi, I'm Ken, founder of AuditOps, the first all-in-one workflow platform built specifically for auditors. Here on the dashboard, you can see every audit in progress, organized and easy to track at a glance. No spreadsheets, no tool hopping, everything lives right here. Let's start a new audit. With just a few clicks, I can create a new project, assign a client, and set up key details. AuditOps automatically builds the structure so I can focus on what matters, the findings, not the formatting. Every audit is fully editable. I can adjust scope and update progress. Everything saves in real time, so collaboration stays effortless and transparent. Now, let's open an audit. Here's the findings view, each issue documented and prioritized. Instead of messy notes across different tools, AuditOps keeps your entire review history in one clean interface. Adding a new finding takes seconds. Just describe the issue, attach the evidence, and assign the severity. This one's kind of a long, awkward pause, so just keep that noted. Need to update a detail? No problem. Just click Edit, make your change, and click Save. Once the audit is ready, generating a polished report is one click away. It's instantly ready to send to clients or store in your database. AuditOps replaces the chaos of disconnected tools with one unified platform for documentation, collaboration, and reporting. Whether you're a solo auditor or part of a larger team, Audit Ops helps you work faster, smarter, and with confidence. Thanks for watching. All right, now we'll move into the timeline here. So October 1st to 10th, I started by setting up the backend boilerplate using Node.js. I created my database schemas using MongoDB and Mongoose, and building the handlers and establishing all the core routes. Moving on to the 11th to the 13th, during this phase, I integrated PDFKit from NPM to generate and download audit reports directly from the backend. And then the 14th to 22nd, I shifted my focus to the front end, developing all the components in a modular manner with React. And then on the 23rd, once structure was in place, I pushed both the front end and the back end to GitHub and deployed them to Render and Netlify. Next slide, please. Challenges faced during development. I faced a lot of challenges with backend root integration, making sure each endpoint communicated cleanly with the front end. It forced me to deepen my debugging process and refine how I structure my API logic. On the UI side, I had to balance functionality versus simplicity, ensuring the platform was powerful without overwhelming the user. And like any real project, time management became a constant factor. I had to reprioritize features, make tough trade-offs, and stay focused on what would deliver the most value for the MVP. Yeah, next slide. Oh, there we go. All right, so future plans. Looking ahead, I have several features planned to take Audit Ops to the next level. First, I want to integrate an AI-powered summary generator that reviews findings and produces a polished, error-free report before it's sent to the client. I'm also redesigning the findings module and the demo there you saw it was quite small. There's not a lot of room to write in there to just give auditors more space and for detailed descriptions. And finally, I plan to introduce edit tracking so teams can see exactly who made changes to an audit or finding and when, just to improve the transparency and accountability across the workflow. Next slide, please. So the key takeaways from Audit Ops, they're clear. First, it has the potential to become the first all-in-one SaaS platform built specifically for smart contract auditors. Second, designing an intuitive UI taught me how much extraordinary user experience matters when handling complex audit workflows. And lastly, implementing automatic PDF generation showed the impact of thoughtful automation in streamlining the reporting process and reducing auditor workload. Next slide. Thank you all for listening and being here. It means a lot to me. And if you'd like to get in touch, my stuff's in the slide there.
Perfect. Thank you, Ken. This is going to be so nice that I can see our finance department also utilizing this as well. So with that, could I please have all the guest speakers join the stage?
Hey, Ken, that was great. And it's very close to what I go through on a basis. I wanted to understand, like, did you make a list of features that you wanted to address before going in, or was it more on the tech side and then figuring it out?
When designing the app or for the takeaways?
When designing.
Yeah, designing. Yeah, I had a few things that I wanted in mind. So I did a little bit of research, found that the auditors specifically are juggling so many tools in between. So I kind of asked myself, what can I do to make the workflow a little bit easier and save some people some time so they're not sending documents through email and it gets lost and all this other stuff. So I kept that in mind when designing. Yeah, I mean, here came Audit Ops.
Yeah, I really like the UI. It's clean. But when you do the login, is it like, so if I have a team of 4, is that me as a company or me as a team? How do I log in? And
Great question. So actually so making it an MVP, I was a little crunched for time. So I actually cut out the authentication. I've used authentication using Passport and other stuff for my other projects, but this one I was super crunched for time. So I cut out the authentication and logging in. So right now there's nothing. But in the future, I plan to implement a team login with user roles and admin functionality so that users can see, other users that have already made changes and what they exactly changed and everything else there. It would also be nice to see a user side dashboard so that the users could see how far the audits come or
Yeah.
what is left to do.
Yeah, I just give one feedback on that side as well, because usually when the audits come in, if it's like just a whole smart contract audit, there's usually like a couple of steps in it. So there's like the scoping and requirements, there's the architecture, there's the automated analysis, static analysis about different kind of opcodes or external calls. And then there's the business logic audit as well that comes into place, and there's the testing and the fuzzing. So I could give you a little more depth after this, but there's usually like 10 different things that they're doing. So when you could actually give them like a template, so when they create a new audit, it comes with the 10 templates, and they can choose which template they want to use and add the report for each of them. So that could be one idea.
Absolutely. Yeah. I had a similar idea. It was kind of the second product. I wanted to call it Audit Mind, but I intended to go to ETH Denver this next February to build it. But it was basically you give me the source code for your, well, I can also steal it from Etherscan too, for their, if their source code is linked to the compiled code. I can steal that, put it in Slither through Docker, run it in a backend through Node, and then once it gives it static analysis, I can run that through OpenAI and get a more detailed analysis for people who are new or don't know what an audit is. So yeah, that was an idea I had as well. But
all the best. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll go next. Really, really cool idea. Has a ton of real world application, especially in the cybersecurity space. So awesome. Some of the questions I had were already sort of answered, such as the auth and the user roles and how you were going to deal with collaboration. So maybe that'll be next with real-time updates, so that, you know, if someone on another computer is working on the same case or whatever, they see the updates. And I made a note. I'm like, do you see any opportunities for automation or AI here? So that was a yes. I guess all I have for you then is, you mentioned that there were some tough trade-offs when time was getting short, and I was just curious about your thought process around that. What did you drop, and why that was better to drop versus some of the other ones?
So I think the biggest one I made was the authentication. The logging in side of things was a big sacrifice, but without the other stuff that I had here, the automatic PDF generation or the actual finding, I would have no product. So I kind of had to cut the login out, unfortunately. But yeah, that was one of the tough trade-offs. As well as some of my React components are a little bit less flashy and more pastel kind of ideologies, but yeah.
Thank you.
I can. So really great work that you showed and how you demoed it, and I'm pretty sure you put a lot of effort on it because you have such a small time frame to develop an application like this, and also an application like this in cybersecurity space, which could be B2B, could really benefit a lot of places and could have high demand. So great job in choosing this subject, and as you said, you're passionate about blockchain, so I'm pretty sure you had fun developing it. I don't have questions on my side, just congratulate you, and
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you, everyone, for all your feedback. With that, we will move on to our next student. Reagan, could you please join the stage whenever you're ready and talk to us about ThoughtLoom? All right, good luck.
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Perfect. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Reagan. Thank you so much for being here today. I am a junior software developer, and I also am still presently working as a registered massage therapist. So people-centered problem solving is kind of my thing. I only started coding a year ago, and I've learned a lot of the skills that I use working one-on-one with people translate surprisingly well into some user-focused design. Like many of us, oh, next slide, sorry. There we are, there I am. Like many of us, juggling coursework, client work, side projects, 2 a.m. ideas, and a whole pile of personal tasks, things sometimes slip through the cracks. So I needed a better way to organize my thoughts. And as someone who understands problems, designs solutions, and uses modern tools like AI to build real things, I created ThoughtLoom. Next slide, please. What is the issue? Managing multiple projects can be overwhelming, and the current solutions, they're okay, but not quite right. Some apps are far too simple. Everything ends up in a big, long list of giant jumbled mess. Others are far too complex, built for large teams and expensive. And Post-it notes, well, they're great, but only if you have a full detective-style murder board to organize them, but it doesn't travel very well. It's difficult to find something in between, something simple enough for personal use while being powerful enough for real organization. Next slide, please. So I created ThoughtLoom. It is a hierarchical project management app with 3 tiers. It has projects, categories, and notes. It uses visual color coding for instant recognition. It includes a quick capture notes section for thoughts that are fleeting, and it syncs across all of your devices for secure Google authentication. Next slide, please. Using a real-world example, I am planning my mom's 75th birthday party, as you can see on May 6th. You can see the projects are listed at the top, my mom's 75th birthday party, and my capstone project. Within those projects, I have the categories, invitations, and decorations. And then within each category, there are the notes. And with the notes, under the invitations, I need a guest list and I need to secure the addresses. Everything has a place and everything is easy to find. The next slide, please. The color picker is probably my favorite feature. It didn't show up in the video, unfortunately, because of a setting that I missed during the recording that I didn't know how to fix until after it was too late, so my apologies. But you can see that you can use a visual gradient to pick something that looks good to you, or if you prefer precision, there's the drop-down menu where you can choose from hex codes, RGB values, or the HSL percentages, whatever works for you. Next slide, please. Next, you can see the quick notes. These are for capturing a thought instantly when you don't have time to decide where it goes. You can type it, save it, and move on. You can sort it later or keep it as a standalone. Next slide, please. There's a demo. Let's see it in action. So this is the landing page. We log in, go into the quick notes, capture our little thought, save it, go back to the dashboard, head into projects. You can create a new project. As I said, my mom's 75th birthday. It was working very hard to not make any mistakes when I was typing, so it's a little slow, my apologies. Go into the categories, create the category, get the decorations, and then the invitations. Going into the invitations, that's when you can create more of the specifics of the project that you're working, securing the guest list, and then making sure that I have all the right addresses in order to send those invitations. Once you complete a task, you can check it, it crosses it out, and there's a date stamp for when that's done. Head back over into the projects, the dashboard, back to the quick notes, and you can delete, get the pop-up to make sure that you want to, and then log out. So some of the challenges that I ran into, the biggest one, the most interesting one to me on this slide here, was that the color coding wasn't working. So yes, the removing of the quotes fixed it, but the real issue was something that I didn't even know could happen. Since I'm still new to coding and I'm not quite what some would call as a quote unquote code jockey, I've gotten pretty proficient at using AI as a pair programmer. So I know what I want to build and I know how it should work. And I've been using Claude, the same chat, to build both this app, ThoughtLoom, and the note-taking app that I made for my midterm project. That midterm project looked pretty broken to me when I submitted it at the deadline, and it taught me a very important lesson about pushing to GitHub properly, early and often. And because I'm determined, I came back, I fixed the problem, and I used that as the foundation for ThoughtLoom. But trouble was brewing because it was all the same chat thread that I with Claude, and that thread was long. So when I tried to fix this color bug, uploading screenshots, pasting code blocks, even adding Copilot suggesting, Claude kept insisting, the code looks great, maybe choose brighter colors, you just can't see them. And then it happened. The maximum chat length was reached. I was stunned. I was indignant. I pay for premium Claude, but I had no choice. I had groaned. I muttered a few expletives, and I opened a new thread, explained everything to the new Claude, and immediately it said, oh, that's an easy fix. Just remove the quotes. And it worked. So it's almost like the old Claude was stuck in a feedback loop, and it was too invested in its earlier answers to see the obvious fix. So what did I learn? Sometimes a legitimate debugging technique is really just open up a new chat. Next slide, please. So ThoughtLoom is built with industry standard technologies, all the things that we learned in class, Node and Express on the back end, MongoDB Atlas for cloud storage database, Passport and Google OAuth for authentication, Bootstrap for responsive design. Next slide, please. Future enhancements. Right now, ThoughtLoom is pretty clean and simple, so there's a lot of room to grow into it. Calendar integration, deadline tracking, collaboration features, file attachments, dark mode, time zone preferences, custom themes, so many different things. Next slide, please. Some key takeaways. Simple doesn't have to mean basic. ThoughtLoom proves that you can be intuitive and powerful. Start with a real problem, because I built this because I needed it and could have used it while I was building it. And 3, persistence pays off. I actually started this bootcamp once and needed to start again. Second time around, I still didn't do a very good job for my midterm project, and that was 4 months ago, and today I'm presenting a fully functional deployed application. Next slide. Oh, and there's the QR code. You can scan it and try it yourself. My bad, sorry. And next slide. And if you want to get in touch via LinkedIn, I'd love to hear your feedback, chat about development, AI-assisted coding, or just organizing life. Next slide. Should be a big thank you. Yeah, thank you so much for your time and attention today.
Thank you so much, Reagan. This is such a cool project. And I'm going to scan the QR code and I'll be your first user for this.
Perfect. I love it.
Could I please have the guest speakers join us on stage?
Hey, Reagan, that was so nice. I feel I needed to, and I will. I'll ask Manur to send me over the
Perfect.
I just had a quick question about so what happens when all my tasks are done within those lists, within those categories? Does it show that the project's ready to go, or?
Pretty much. Now that you're asking this question, I could see how it would potentially become fairly cluttered if there wasn't some sort of a timeline to it, that it would just automatically delete the crossed off tasks. Because right now you just check it and then it lives there in that screen.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Sounds great. So it doesn't show up on the other hierarchy, like the list.
No.
Right. Okay.
It does not.
Is that hopefully in the pipeline to show, hey, you finished all the category here.
That's
all
a
the-
really good idea. Actually, I like that a lot. Yeah.
And one quick thing about security. So like if I put in stuff about what I want to do,
Mhm.
we have a copy of it living forever somewhere, or do you delete it in your database, or how do you handle that?
Another good question that I didn't even consider, right? Because MongoDB is the database, it probably would just live there. Yeah,
Yeah, maybe just from the privacy standpoint.
for
If
sure.
this goes, I mean,
Yeah,
it's the need of the hour, but if it goes somewhere much bigger than
much bigger.
this cohort, that's something to think about.
That's a really good idea. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, great job. I will certainly use this. Thank you, Manny.
Thank you.
Yeah, great job. Sounds like you went through the same struggles that all of us have at some point. It's a rite of passage for every developer to mess up their main branch. I promise you.
Perfect. Excellent.
Um,
It's good that I'm not excellent that it happens. Good that I'm not alone.
Definitely not alone. And some homework for you is to look up AI context windows and memory management.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing to get around. But yeah, my only question about the app is, do you plan on maybe adding notifications? Because it'd be really cool to maybe get reminders if there's like dates associated, like say with the birthday party or like,
Totally.
yeah, and like maybe even calendar syncing or something like that. That'd be
Yeah,
cool.
the calendar syncing, I think I did put in the future enhancements, but I agree, having some notifications in there would also help to really build it out a little bit more to make it really even more user friendly.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, Regan. Great job and congratulations on your application.
Thank you so
I'm pretty sure you put a lot of effort in it. That's great. One thing, I don't know if you thought about it, but I usually prefer archiving stuff than deleting.
Oh yeah, clever. Okay.
I don't know if you did a hard delete or a soft delete.
It's
And,
a hard delete. Once it's gone, it's done.
yeah, because I think we, as a humans, we like to undo things when using software, and this is something that we can't do in our real life, but softwares help us to undo things. So I think having an archiving thing, and also when you're done with a project, you can archive it to not see it and filter on what's archived, and that can declutter a little bit your dashboard.
That would be great. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I appreciate that too. Thank you.
Great job. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Reagan, for presenting. It's a really cool project, and you already have a few beta users ready to go. So that's amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. With that, we will move on to our last pitch for the day with Aisha. So, Aisha, whenever you're ready, please join us on stage.
Okay. Can everyone hear me?
Yes, we can hear you fine. Okay, good luck.
Okay, perfect. Hi everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm super excited to introduce my capstone project called Naturopathia. Next slide. So before I begin, I just kind of wanted to introduce myself. My name is Aisha Nukovic, and I completed my bachelor's degree in Sciences and Humanities at the University of Toronto. Since then, I've worked in different capacities in the legal and social justice fields where I really saw gaps that could be addressed by tech, which ultimately led to me pivoting into the industry. And I'm deeply inspired by technology that can improve lives, help others, and transform the user experience. And currently, I'm open to any career mentorship or collaboration opportunities. Next slide, please. Okay, so what motivated me to create Naturopathia? Well, I've always been someone who prioritizes health and well-being, and I've found tremendous improvement through naturopaths in my personal life. While I was completing the software development program, I remember wanting to speak with a naturopath, but I was a student and these visits were prohibitively expensive and they were definitely a cost barrier. An initial consultation can cost up to $300 or more, and treatment could cost anywhere between $150 to $600 or more. And then trying to find information about holistic health online can be difficult because different methods, interventions, and treatments that may work for others may not work for you. And this is one of the underlying principles in naturopathy. Everybody behaves differently and reacts differently. So I knew that I had to develop a virtual platform that provided tailored naturopathic advice simply because this is something that I really needed myself. Next slide. So what is Naturopathia? It is a virtual platform that uses an AI-powered chat interface, a diagnostic health questionnaire, medical file processing and analysis, and a user-friendly interface. I created this platform to serve as a helpful tool for people who want to understand, track, and optimize their health, especially through holistic methods. Next slide, please. And then for the project timeline, working through this, I had 4 weeks to complete this project from end to end. So I started by planning the features, framework, architecture, and tech stack. I decided to use React, TypeScript, Vite, CSS, and React Native for the front end, Node.js and Express for the back end, MongoDB Atlas for the database, Auth0 for authentication, Render and Netlify for hosting, and Cloudinary, Google Cloud Vision, and OpenAI for my APIs. I started by building, Mahnur, can we go back to thank you. I started by building the authentication and backend. Then I integrated the APIs before I created and refined the front-end React components. Then I synthesized the front and back end. The next phase was extensive debugging to ensure that the features worked as intended and the platform was optimized for performance, which I further tested through user feedback. And lastly, I deployed the back end on Render and the front end on Netlify. And now I'd like to work on a mobile app version of my project. Next slide, please. And the demo.
Welcome to Naturopathia, your AI-powered naturopathic assistant. This video will show you a demonstration on how to use the platform. The initial landing page is where you'll get started. In addition to reading about the app's specific features, you can click the button on the top right of the page to create a new account or log in to an existing account. Once you've successfully created your account, you can now access your secure and personalized dashboard. Here, you'll find weekly articles to browse that were written by certified naturopaths. Be sure to check your to-do list to see if there are any outstanding actions you should complete. It looks like the to-do list has prompted us to complete the diagnostic health questionnaire. Similar to an initial consult with a naturopath, you'll be guided to answer questions about your health, including any symptoms you may be experiencing. Now that the questionnaire is submitted, you can meet Holly, your virtual naturopathic assistant. She's there to provide personalized and tailored advice about your health concerns, questions, and goals. You can use the chat interface to browse through past conversations with Holly, search by keyword, and rename chat sessions. Lastly, let's check out the profile page. Here you can view and edit your basic account information, access your diagnostic health questionnaire answers, and edit your responses if you'd like to. The file upload feature also scans medical documents and files that will automatically be analyzed and added to your profile so that Holly can provide more tailored responses. Thanks for watching.
Sorry, you're muted, Aisha.
Yeah, sorry about that. So this was definitely a challenging endeavor for me. I would say overall, I really struggled with the time constraints because of my perfectionistic tendencies, and crystal clear vision of what I wanted this platform to look like, I struggled with managing my high expectations against the reality of timing. I quickly learned that I had to triage my priorities for the day by setting a daily to-do list from scratch of what I needed to accomplish. I also leveraged AI tools to help identify and explain the debugging process with some of the more complex errors that I encountered. And that also helped expedite the debugging process. A major technical challenge that arose throughout the development process had to do with building out the architecture. Maintaining user safety and security was critical because health data is very sensitive information. So all of the routes and pages had to be protected by authentication middleware. Another technical challenge was in implementing some of the more complex features, such as the AI chat interface. Learning how to integrate the Open AI API was one thing, but then getting it to actually perform and look exactly the way I wanted it to on the front end was an even more difficult endeavor. Needless to say, I definitely learned a lot about software development, solving challenges, and the development lifecycle through this project. I also learned a lot about myself and how I work as a developer, my strengths, weaknesses, and most importantly, my areas of improvement that I want to continue growing. Next slide. What comes next? So moving forward, I'd really like to begin working on a mobile app version of this website. Just because I think it would be a helpful and accessible addition for users to have. I'd also like to work on building a supplement and medication tracker feature, which would be on the user's dashboard, as well as a search tool and directory for users to find a registered ND in their area. In the long term, I could see onboarding real naturopaths to provide prescriptions and testing services one day. There could even be a service for at-home medical testing kits that users can get shipped directly to their door. Can you tell that I was inspired by Felix in this project? Next slide, please. Okay, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today and learn about my project. I love speaking with and learning from others. So if you'd like to get in touch, please feel free to do so via my contact information in this slide.
Amazing. Thank you, Aisha. I can see this project being so useful for anyone that just wants to get some source of professional medical advice and isn't going to ChatGPT and uploading images of their rashes. With that, could I please have all the guest speakers join the stage?
Hey, Aisha, that was really good. I mean, it's so good that you had a clear vision of what you wanted it to look like, but also have like the features. So could you walk us through like how did you go about coming up with the features and the design? Did you create a blueprint of it and then started to work towards it? What were your steps that you took?
Yeah, so I think, well, the whole idea came from just wanting a service like this for myself. So I just was thinking at first about what do I want to see, what could I use, and what was helpful for myself and some of my some of the people in my network. So that's kind of I kind of started developing my ideas from there, and then with the design, I really tried to focus on kind of like the theme and the branding of what I wanted this platform to emulate. And I used Figma at first to like sketch out the pages. And I just really tried to organize myself from there. And I had a clear vision of what I wanted each page to look like. And then, yeah, another thing was I had previously used Felix Health, if anyone's familiar with that. But they work with doctors, not naturopathic doctors. But I remember when I was creating some of the design components, and I remember referring to their website, and seeing some of the features, especially with their design, and how they made it look so polished. So I was inspired by their website in my design process.
That's great. It's good that you did the Figma and then you did like a prototype there, so that gives a whole view. When it comes to the chat, how it's one thing to integrate the API, but there's another thing to differentiate your chat from the actual chat GPT. Have you added any guardrails or any kind of rules to what it can provide, considering it's naturopathic and not allopathy or any other thing?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that was one of the considerations and things that I really focused on when I was developing that part of my project. So when you use the OpenAI API and you're integrating it into the backend, you can provide clear instructions on what it can and cannot do, as well as different things like the voice that you want it to have. So in my project, it was really important for the AI agent to respond in a really empathetic and almost kind of nurturing way, similar to how a medical professional would. So I did really personalize it. And then, yeah, the chat feature, you can really only ask questions about your health or well-being. If you try to ask questions outside of that scope, the AI agent will redirect you back to like topics of health.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, thank you. I'll let Chantel and Ismail take over.
Thank you. Yeah, really great idea. You already got it super polished looking. Again, real world applicability here. I think I heard a podcast the other day about more need for this sort of tech, especially in the holistic space. So that's really cool to see. A couple of things popped into my head. I noticed you had quite a hefty form there, and as a developer who has struggled with form management, I don't know if you had an experience with that. How did you find that? How did you manage large form?
Yeah, that's such a great question, because that was also another difficulty that I had. Oh gosh, it was like a beast. I like, for lack of a better word. I think I spent a lot of time thinking about how I wanted the diagnostic health questionnaire to appear. So, you know, I really wanted to make it comprehensive. So there are a lot of questions on there. And so in the actual form, it'll go through different sections. So yeah, like as far as like the user end goes, I had a little feature on there to kind of track the user's progress, so they also wouldn't get overwhelmed. But yeah, it was definitely a difficult feat for sure. In doing
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
I could see a reason to like maybe even add a feature for drafting it and coming back if you haven't already, stuff like that.
Yeah. So the form will allow you to submit your answers as is, and then you can go back and you can add more details, add more information, or edit your responses if you want to.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you.
Hi, Aisha. Great job and great project. Congratulations. I wanted to ask you if your legal background can help you to shape the trajectory of this product, and also making sure that the privacy is respected, especially in this field where privacy is very important. What ideas do you have to make this product have privacy as a first citizen?
Yeah. Well, I think when it comes to health and medical data, it is definitely one of the most sensitive areas for users. I remember having discussions with my instructor at the time around this, because I don't know if I'm actually going to take this to market or anything like that, but even just in terms of like the authentication and the user login, I really wanted to focus on the security for the users. So I think there's definitely room for improvement in terms of like handling the client login and authentication. I think there are several more safeguards that I could implement in terms of users logging out automatically after, or like session timeouts. But with my instructor at the time, there just wasn't enough time to actually implement that. But I certainly, I think, if in the future, that's one of the things that I'd love to research more about and learn more about and then implement into this project.
Perfect. Great job.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Aisha, and thank you so much, guest speakers, for giving feedback. With that, just congratulations to all of our graduates. Your hard work has finally paid off, and it's so good to see everyone's projects here. So thank you so much for that. Just kind of wrapping everything up for the day. So if you guys are interested in becoming a hiring partner with us, I'm more than happy to connect with you, and these technical insights that all of the guest speakers have put in today have been so amazing and so invaluable for our graduates. And for those that are in the audience that are not partners with us as yet, we have several opportunities to partner. So anything like speaking from events, hiring our top talent, even mentorship opportunities. So anything like that, please reach out to me. My email is up on the slide. And with that, again, thank you so much to everyone. And thank you so much for joining the event today. And I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you.